It used to be when a guy averaged 30 and 10 in the playoffs, he was one of the best players in the league. And now it's all about context. I'm all for that, but Giannis surprisingly doesn't fit under any of that. Giannis isn't supposed to be a playoff performer. He's not supposed to do well in the playoffs, but he's averaging 29 points, 13 boards, and like 5.5 assists on 55% from the field. He had like a great game 7. He's hitting clutch buckets. He's 6th in fourth quarter points per game in the playoffs on 59% from the field. That's more than Middleton. Now he has limitations. All right, he can't shoot. He has no jump shot. His free throw, my God, that free throw.
And he's going baseline away from the help. Collins committing the.
Whatever. All right, we've been roasting him for 2 straight years because he's been a dud in the playoffs, and everyone wants to focus on limitations. Sure. Then the Bucks beat a Hawks team with a hurt Trae Young, and everyone was like, oh, they can do this without Giannis. And now they're facing the Suns, and they're like, oh, they can't win without Giannis. Like, make up your mind. Is Giannis a liability in the playoffs? Is he just like a small little boost that puts you over the bump? Or is he not having one of the best playoff performances, playoff runs of all time? What is up, dudes, to that Sparks Players? It's your boy MJ. I'm gonna put this stat up here because I just want to show you what company he's in. Did we consider any of these guys to be playoff chokers? Shaq needed Kobe to close out games, or were we like, oh, Shaq ain't it in the playoffs? It's Shaq. Giannis is consistent. Every game, you're getting some sort of star level production. And y'all gonna bring up James Harden and Russ, like they filling up the stats. Look at that, they have so many points and they're not winning. They don't lead to playoff wins. And if you're comparing Giannis to them, I'm gonna say, shut up. All right, comparing Giannis to dudes taking endless shots and missing, not being efficient every game, and also having the most turnovers in a single playoff game. Nah, but bro, this is different, bro. Those players are costing their team games, like plural, all right?
What the hell was that?
This is different, and you're probably just thinking Giannis is running around.
That takes no skill at all.
Give me your finals predictions now in the comments. Go. And we'll get to the plays, all right? We'll get to the impact, all that, yada, whatever. But since when has the main man for a team just been forgotten? Like, I'm not talking about being credited for a team's success or blamed for a team's failures. Nah, like Giannis is in this weird oblivion where it's not like the team's success rides upon him, but also the failures aren't fully on him. It's like a weird hybrid. He's kind of doing what's expected of him, which is already pretty great, but it doesn't really matter. Like Chris Middleton gets all of that, man. Chris Middleton's legacy changes every game. He can go from being Michael Jordan one game to Ben Simmons the next.
My body different.
Giannis kind of gets treated like that middle child that's too big to ignore, but at the same time, you're ignoring him.
Yeah!
Like, you're just gonna forget about an efficient 30 points? Alright. Giannis was legit one of the worst rated players in the league. Man came from the dirt in Greece, and instead of bailing on the Bucks, he signed an extension, which was boring to most of you. I just don't understand where Giannis hate comes from, man. This guy has a movie-esque story.
I can do everything in the court.
Now to the plays, look at this wall, and this one, and this one. This is the stuff Giannis is facing every game. Giannis is living in the defenders' heads. But here Kevin Huerter said, forget Drew Holiday, Giannis a threat. Capello's like, shoot, I need to take the pain away from Giannis. Oh shit, Drew is here. And that left the corner wide open. Ain't about gravity, it's about the concern the defense has for Giannis. So that Chris Middleton, who is one pass away, has so much space. Like legit, when Chris Middleton was cooking, the Hawks couldn't send doubles sometimes because Giannis was just there. Capella wanted to double, but Giannis ran into the paint and Capella had to draw back. He knew a jumper was going to be at his boy's face, but he had no choice. So Chris Jordan could cook. And cook, he did. I'll make another video on Chris Middleton at one point because that man's an interesting case study. Like, wow. Did these players step up without Giannis? Yes. Yeah, the Bucks have a squad. Bro, when Brook Lopez, that man ran the Nets franchise for years. When he is your like third, fourth option, you're pretty good. Drew Holiday for a lot of his career has been underrated offensively, but don't forget he was an all-star in like 2013. He's been good everywhere. He averaged 22 for a season, but he also gets 2.4 assists per game to Giannis in the playoffs. All I'm saying is, can we just give Giannis the goddamn respect he deserves and not forget that the entire Bucks offense revolves around Giannis? I'm not saying he's the entire team, but he's a big part of the team. So let's treat him like one. Shout out to Funny You Lost for being first. Thanks for all the support. Also, you wilding with that username. Oh yeah, also subscribe. We out and we vibing.